Something that I wanted to bring up. How much easier is it to be in a tribute band as opposed to, say, being in your own original music band?
It's a lot easier.
Kind of touched on that.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
You get noticed more, and you know, you don't have to work so hard. In an original band, you're just trying to get the music, trying to get the people out to your gig, and already, you know, you've got people who just love Pink Floyd or Zeppelin or Kiss just coming out there, because some of these bands don't exist or they can't, you know, it's a while before they come around again or whatever. So.
And internally with originals, the biggest dispute is over band musical direction. And well, we're playing music that's already been written. We're not going to have those arguments.
Right, exactly. So you've kind of already got that ramp up. You know, you've already got the music pretty much there. It's just a matter of getting into it. If you love the music anyway, it comes naturally.
Yeah, pretty much.
I find that doing the tribute that the fans, you have to work harder than the original band had to work. Yeah. Because the fans are so used to listening to the records that you can't really diverse too much from the original deal, because they're watching every single note, they're watching every single nuance of the vocal, the sound of the vocal, or whatever, and they'll check you. It's happened to me many, many times. Like, oh, you did that, because if you didn't, you know, it would have been so-so, you know. So I think it's harder for tribute bands.
I think the great majority of tribute bands sound better than the actual bands that they're covering live. Absolutely. Well, we're trying to sound like the record, and when you're Pink Floyd, you can go up and say, we're just going to play.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not necessarily trying to recreate something. They're just kind of, well, maybe they're lazy, or I don't know. It's a live thing. We can do it the way we want to. They change things.
It gets old to them.
Yeah.
We don't learn about the perils of drugs from the real things.
I mean, Led Zeppelin never. I hear lots and lots of bootlegs, which a lot of fans, because they're so used to the records. But you know, we're so inside Zeppelin that we hear all these bootlegs. They play for 2 or 3 hours a night, and it wouldn't be sounding like a record at all. It's like something else. Unless you're a hardcore Zeppelin fan, then you know, oh yeah, this is cool.
But you also do have to strike that balance, because those fans are out there too. It's like, you know, there's this version of Dazed and Confused from '72. And you guys you really should work on getting it. And, you know, you're the only guy that would know that.
Yeah.
So you got to try and appeal to that as well as everybody who just knows the albums.
Sure. Now, how far do you go as far as you're paying tribute to a band? Obviously, you're trying to portray a certain person on the stage. How far do you go as far as trying to look like the person, or do you just let your music speak?
You can tell he's a spitting image of Roger Waters.
We don't do anything. Which one's Pink don't do nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very lucky.
Yeah. We don't do anything.
Well,
there's a reason for that.
It's four, not just one. Where with if you're doing the Doors, you can focus in on Jim Morrison, or with Led Zeppelin, it's 4. John Bonham. Everybody has to get as close as they can.
Right.
Even using the instrumentation, we just can't get away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to have a Les Paul, a double neck, acoustic guitar,
Violin bow, theremin.
Actually, it's quite expensive.
Right.
Being in the tribute band as well, well, being in Led Zeppelin, doing Led Zeppelin anyway.
Okay.
So and I'm working on plastic surgery next week
Okay, you don't look enough like
because
that.
I'm trying to just get that look above my head.
Okay, now talk about the spirit of competition. Is there a fierce competition with bands in general in the tribute scene, I think?
Oh, there's plenty of competition.
Want to elaborate on that, Sean?
No. For the moment, we won't go there. In a later interview. But what I found, I book bands at a club called Paladinos, and I've started to find out by being a booker, booking all the tribute bands, and talking to all the tribute bands,
Right.
especially who are doing the same music.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of competition between the two,
Okay.
and and where they're playing, and becoming their turf. This is our turf. You stay out of our turf. So there's a few wars going on right now
Okay.
in the tribute scene, and there is a bit of jealousy that does exist between tribute bands, which I think is sad, because I've seen two different bands' interpretation, and even though it's the same music, it's how they presented it. It's still a different, it's their deal on it. And I think it still can be entertaining. It's just unfortunate how the bands are looking at each other.
Whenever you're ready.
We're here with Jeff Pilson and George Lynch, formerly of Doggett, and now of Lynch Pilson. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Now, you guys came up in one of the biggest bands of the 80s. So what was it about the music of that period that made it stand out? Kind of stand the test of time? People are still coming back to hear things that you did.
Quality songs, I think. We're very
The outfits
conscientious.
didn't hurt either.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they did. Oh, yes, they did.
Purple's badass. So you had the purple and you had the blue, right? Or red? You had the red.
I
He
was
was the
red.
red.
I
He
was
was the
red.
red.
Jeff
Red
is the
boy.
purple guy.
But now I'm the red rapper.
Are you still?
I'm still Purple Man, as well as the red rapper.
What was Mick? Mick was Blue Boy.
He was.
Oh,
No.
you don't want to be Blue Boy.
Now, in the 80s, in particular with your band, there was a lot of in-band fighting as far as a very competitive attitude in the bands generally speaking. Everybody was sort of against each other.
The bands? You're talking about bands versus bands, or just our band as
Well, a little
individuals
both, a little
against
both,
each
actually.
other?
We fought with everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You
We
guys
fought with
did
other bands and
organizations.
And ourselves, yes.
Exactly. Now, is that fair to say, obviously, that there was a lot of competitiveness and a lot of fighting?
I didn't think there was that much between bands, to be honest.
I think guitar players was a lot competitive.
But it was somewhat healthy, I think.
Nature.
I mean, Warren and Vivian, those were all good friends of yours, so I mean, I think it was pretty good spirited for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, it was healthy competition.
Yeah.
As far as the bands, there was a lot more. There was a lot more that you have to contend with egos.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
exactly. I think people took the ego and stardom part more seriously. But I actually remember most of those people being my friends.
Okay, right. And you don't really see it hyped
Jeff
up
likes
as much as it
egomaniacs.
used to be, what?
Jeff likes egomaniacs.
Oh.
He gets along with them really well.
Apparently
Name
so.
any names?
Well, you don't see it quite as often these days, although it does happen as far as, or maybe it's just that it's not publicized quite as much, the in-band sort of thing. But
What
do you
sort of
think,
thing?
well, the whole competitiveness.
I thought you said England.
I thought she said inbred.
Oh.
Anyway, do you feel there was more passion fueling the music back then, and maybe that's why it happened, or
No,
was it more the
egos, absolutely. It's the egos and everybody taking themselves seriously and thinking they're big stars. Yeah, that's all.
We don't think that anymore.
Yeah.
Because we're not.
Okay. Let's see. Now, tribute bands are becoming very popular as far as the music bookers, live music bookers here today, and a lot with the audience as well. People are a little more willing to go see tribute bands these days as opposed to original music. Why do you think that is? Or do you think
There's a
that-
void. I mean, a lot of those bands aren't around. I mean, you can't go see Alice in Chains anymore. So you're gonna have to go see Alice Unchained. And Metallica doesn't tour that often, and you can't see Metallica in a small club. And it's not the kind of thing where
$10.
Yeah, for $10 where you go hang out with your friends like you did 20 years ago with Metallica. I think
Tribute bands are better than the real bands.
that's probably true. Yeah, I mean, probably is. I think it's more just about that. It's like kind of this nostalgia thing, and it's a simple social setting that, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass to go to a Coliseum and see. I mean, to go to a Metallica show now is expensive, it's time consuming, it's not as easy to do, so.
I think it's Pilsen.
Lynch
The
Pilsen.
arena.
Oh my God.
Which
Why there's
brings us
all
to
the
our
stadium
next
shows
question.
for
That's
that?
why there's all the Lynch Pilsen
Tribute bands.
Tribute bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, as artists who are in the process of breaking a new project, Lynch Pilsen, what are your thoughts on the live music scene as far as booking practices, pay-to-play thing, that sort of environment?
We don't have to deal with that. I
Okay.
mean, that was happening back in the 70s and early 80s too. But it's just evolved now to the point where it's just become a common practice.
Right.
I just think, you know, when you're starting out before you have a deal or you have a lot of success, I mean, you have to do that kind of grassroots networking, which is the way it is now. It's a different world.
Sort of paying your dues.
Well, you know, to make money at that level, you can make money at it, but you have to work really hard at it. And you really have to do the same thing at our level. It's just, you know, it's the
You
same
pay to
game.
play in a different way.
Yeah.
Well, your kind of tribute scenes, as far as, you know, there's people saying we go see tribute bands because there's not really quality new music out. We'd rather go see something that's sort of tried and true. What are your thoughts on that?
I think people kind of think back to those days. That was a fun time. Looking back longingly, like, wow, I want to recapture those years and that experience. And so that's a chance to go back and relive it for a couple hours, I guess.
Right. And you know, for certain people, if you're not into the new music scene, but you were a fan of those bands, like I was saying earlier, you can't go see those bands in clubs, but maybe that's what you want to do. Because I mean, every generation has its own set of bands and heroes. But if you still like to hang out in clubs and you know you're not into the new bands, well then you've got to do something. And I think tribute bands are a pretty logical alternative to that.
Are you familiar with Mr. Scary, the doc and tribute?
No.
One
Yeah,
called
it is.
Mr.
Someone
Scary.
like that, yeah.
That's cool.
I've heard of a couple.
I saw a website for it. I think they're out in New York or something like that. Yeah, it's called Mr. Scary. It's a tribute band and doc, and yeah.
I've heard of other tribute bands talking about that one.
Oh, okay, great. Well, how does it feel to have a band playing tribute to you and your music?
You ever seen that?
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah?
I mean, it's a cool thought,
Yeah.
but I'd actually like to see one. That'd be fun.
And if the opportunity arose, you happen to be in the same town, same
Have
place
to
to
get
play,
up on
would you get up and
stage.
jam with them?
Hell yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
forget the song. We'll make fun of you.
That's part of the fun part. Now, Jeff, you starred in the movie Rockstar, and that was about a singer for a tribute band who gets the actual gig in the real band. Do you think that tribute bands are training grounds for possible replacements for bands?
Apparently they are now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you ever would have thought that a few years ago, but sure. I mean, look at Rick Rubin's classic example. I mean, he nailed the song so well that he got the part in the real band. So, yeah, I guess it is. Never really thought of it that way, but yeah, I guess it is.
Okay, great.
that the guy
And I think also somebody from
No,
the Atomic Clocks
that's Judas Priest. Yeah, you're right.
got into David Lee Roth's
That's right.
band.
That's right.
Guitar player.
Oh, the Atomic Clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another example there. Now, let's see, where are we?
The Journey guy too, right?
Journey? Really?
He was in Journey Con.
Oh wow.
See?
There you go.
Examples just keep coming.
See?
What's the biggest thing you've learned from being in the business all these years?
Save your money.
Terrific.
Don't trust Whitey. Let's get to t-shirts. T-shirts kill Whitey.
And along with that, what's the most important piece of advice that you can give a new musician that's starting out?
Play with people you like, people you trust.
Follow your heart, and I actually mean that. I mean, really follow your instincts, because because of that corporate structure I was talking about, it's really easy to get overly influenced by what's going on around you, and I think that takes away a lot of character and personality. And I think what you have to do is you have to find that place inside where there's a hunger and a passion about it that supersedes all that. And I don't know. I think that's the most important thing, really. Just you got to find that, and that would be my number one advice.
We saw that happen with the band that you were working with.
Yeah.
Named the band. You know, young guys coming out of the Midwest definitely had heart. Just grew up together and came out and had it all together. We're a true band, friends.
Yep.
And then when she got a hold of them, just got
Shoot them up.
And they didn't know where they were at. They were just like a back in the dust. You know, the dust settled. They were back home. Just kind of what happened.
Yeah, exactly. They lost the initial thing that got them there. And that's critical.
Thank you. Lynch Filson, new record out on April 22nd, Wicked Underground.
Yay. Yeah.
Hey, good to see you.
Thank you.
Any better be twins.
Right. So tell me, why is the 80s music scene, why is that so popular? Why does it seem to be making a resurgence?
Well, I don't think it ever went away other than radio not embracing it anymore. Because it's great music. People are very entertained by the tours and the bands. The musicianship is top notch for most of the bands. And speaking for Rats level, I mean, we play better than we've ever played. I know my drumming is better than it's ever been, and we're still having fun. And it's as long as it's fun and people show up, we're gonna be there.
Yeah. I think maybe that's a key element, that it is fun music.
Yeah, I do.
It doesn't really have, I hate to say this, not that it doesn't have a message, but where a lot of the later music had really political themes, social themes, this was all about having fun.
That's right. It did have a message. Have a good time. And leave your politics at home and come rock. Look at the girls, have a beer, and just have a good time. I don't really like a lot of politics. Mixed in with my rock. You know what I mean? If I want that, I'll check out U2 or something, or Springsteen or something. But if you're gonna go see a hard rock and metal band, I don't really want to hear about George Bush or what's going on in that. You know what I
You
mean?
kind of want to escape from all that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Rat Tribute Band?
Yes. Well, there's a few of them. I've seen a couple of them. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's great.
Do they do you justice?
And the first time I saw it, it blew me away. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
we need to dress like this again. Because, I'm telling you, the singer had Piercy nailed
Yeah.
down. It was a trip. The bass player, total Juan, totally looked like Juan. They had this Robin guy look like Robin.
Right.
The Warren guy looked just like Warren. And the drummer guy didn't really look like, well, he kind of looked like me, but,
Yeah.
the other guys had it nailed a little more.
Yeah. Now, how did you think about that when you go in, you see this band that's like paying tribute to you?
It was flattering,
Yeah.
Yeah, I dug it. I got up and played with them a few different times, and it's good. And then, a good friend of mine, Ralph, plays with the Atomic Punks.
Right.
He does Roth just incredibly,
Yeah.
And I love going to see that. I've been seeing that for years and years, and it's a great show. And they pack out everywhere. A lot of these bands pack the places as much as as the bands that they're doing in these clubs do.
Exactly.
It's funny.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the tribute scene's very big because people really want to see music that they know and that they
Right.
like, and it's already proven. And it's just, I think that a lot of it is to see how well they're going to do the band that they're
Yeah.
tributing.
Yeah, I have a Britney Spears tribute band I'm working on right now. I'm actually Britney in this
Are
band.
you?
Yeah.
So you got the skirts down and everything?
I got hip huggers, a little flab hanging over. What's up?
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I like it. It's fun. It's fun to see.
Harleys, bro. Fucking Harleys. That's heavy metal, dude. This is heavy metal.
So we got Ralph here, we've got Russ, and we've got Joe.
How you doing?
What's up? What's up?
Scott.
What's up?
So how did you get started in the tribute bands? All of you.
Well, it was my idea.
When I
to
put the
start-
band together back in '92,
It was my idea to start the
These
whole
guys
thing.
were doing nothing, and I
Nobody was-
told them.
Well, I decided, actually I was out at karaoke bars and this guy got up and he just sang the shit out of Van Halen. So I was like, dude, you gotta play bass in this Van Halen tribute band that we're doing. And then we got Ralph.
We started back in 1994 at FM station. And Scott here, he's our drummer. He usually doesn't do interviews because he's really scared of the camera.
All right, let's get a close up.
And he doesn't say anything because he's got a southern accent.
Oh man.
Where you from, man?
England.
No, man, it was just an original band called Lancia, and the singer quit, and I joined their band. And I didn't know any of their material, so we did Van Halen.
Oh, okay.
And it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And from that day on, we've just been doing it ever since. And on the way, we've picked up some really great musicians. Like this guy,
I heard you're
guitar is
still
really
looking
good.
for a guitar player.
We're still trying to fit that guitar position right now.
Right.
And the bass player that we have now is pretty good. You know, he's probably one of the best guys you can find at the last minute. That helps.
Yeah. Do you ever think about doing original music, or do you think that?
Yeah, we thought about it. It was
We said, no way, dude.
said-
It's way easier to just copy Van Halen.
Yeah.
Because that way you don't have to run the risk of being judged by other musicians.
Right.
So now we just play. Well, we tried original material, but I don't know. Never worked out.
Okay.
I mean, you know how it is, man. Heavy metal is just great, and nobody likes heavy metal anymore. So
Stop, man. You know what? Don't sell yourself short, little soldier. You gotta get out there and you gotta rock, dude.
I am rocking, man.
You gotta rock. You gotta carry the torch for Van Halen, man. You gotta get up there and just fucking do your little kicks and your screams and stuff. It's fucking rock, dude.
Dude, you're acting really West Hollywood right now, man.
Santa Monica, here I come.
You got my wig? Woo!
Yeah, just to let you know, he wears a wig that makes him look like Eddie Van Halen. We don't pride ourselves on looking like the band. We pride ourselves on playing their music.
That's what we pride ourselves on.
We don't really pride ourselves on anything.
You know
We're
what's
just
pretty funny
grateful
is
for the work.
Eddie got his hair cut so he could look like you.
Really?
Wouldn't that be
Did Eddie cut his
I
hair?
think I saw that the
No,
other
he
day.
didn't. But if you know.
He did a long time ago.
Yeah, because he had short hair for a
But
while.
we don't do the Sammy Hagar version of Van Halen.
Yeah.
We only do David Lee Roth Van Halen.
The only good
Which, what you're watching right now, the people watching this right now, totally love David Lee Roth Van Halen. Sammy Hagar Van Halen is really cool if you're in college.
So you never went to
Boy,
college.
you're done, Van Halen. So you brought up a point. I think it's
Woo! Harleys!
Woo!
See, that's heavy metal right there, dude.
Yeah. So you said nobody likes heavy metal anymore, but yet you come to these shows, there's people lined up out the door.
I'm talking about like record labels and MTV and
Right.
VH1, you know?
Right.
Unless you've had a career that's totally failed, you're not on VH1, you know?
Yeah.
Or we could be on like the segment, Why Are They Now?
Yeah,
Why are they now?
if you're still big, you're definitely not. You're not still. Not on VH1. As soon as you don't sell any records anymore, they'll put you on VH1.
Yeah.
You know, and MTV just totally sucks.
Yeah.
How many people are sick of MTV?
I am.
I am.
Scott is too.
Yeah. But do you think that the tribute scene is a profitable way to make music? As far as being able, obviously you guys get by because you do gigs all the time. As
Well,
well.
Our bass player bought a new truck.
Yeah.
And so
Very
did you.
So did you.
Hey, so did he.
Well, actually, no. He works at Domino's during the day.
As a matter of fact, you were 30 minutes late. This
Yeah, you know,
morning.
so you get your pizza for free, asshole.
No, it is very lucrative. You know, lucrative enough to where we don't have to have, you know,
That's
our
a big
jobs.
word for you too, man.
So
Say that fast.
really
3 times.
look. There it is.
So you can quit your day job. and be a
You
rock
actually can quit your day job, but one of the things that a lot of guys forget.
Look, former member.
Oh, let's
A
get the
man
former
who
member.
moved on to bigger and better things.
Come here, dude. Come here. Come here. Let's go. See, this is the guy. Come here. What's
Get
up?
in here.
The guy that quit the band.
Hey, you dog. What's up? Good to see you.
They're totally faking it. They hate each other, dude. Alright, what's going on here? Well, this guy, he's like lived the tribute dream. He actually moved on to play with the actual guy that I'm a tribute to.
Sammy Hagar.
And the reason they hired him is because he looks a lot like Sammy.
So you're actually playing with David Lee Roth now, right?
Yeah.
Playing with his balls.
See?
That's just bitterness.
That's just, he's pissed because Alex still wears a brace neck and can't play. What I'm trying to say is, you know, get it, you know, your dreams can come true, man. You can be the lead guitar player with David Lee Roth if you start a tribute band.
And how was that for you? Let me ask you. Cool. So you go from being in a tribute band.
So anyways, you know, it's been really great. This is a Punks interview.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, man.
He's moving up. All of us used to be in real bands, and we
That's
just
all right,
moved
dude.
into tribute bands.
Right, right.
It's okay, dude. Oh, his publicist said he can't do it.
Okay.
All right, Brian, it's good to see you, man. Hey, you know, I tried to put you on the guest list, but it's full. So I'll see if I can sneak you in, dude. Maybe you can carry some gear, you fucker.
Do you find there's a lot of competition in the scene?
Yeah, look at that guy. Now he's out with David Lee Roth doing the same shit we're doing.
Right.
Yep. No, there's competition, but you know, I think we picked one of the best bands to be a tribute to because this music translates live really well, you know. And you try to do a Def Leppard tribute, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's tributes to almost every band now. I mean, you know, if you do a Rat tribute, and there's a Rat tribute out there. If you do a Rat tribute, you've only got like what, like 3 or 4 songs that were on the radio. I mean, Van Halen had hits for a number of years, and if you're gonna do a tribute band, you know, there's a few bands that have already been taken. You know,
Well, I mean,
Van Halen,
if you're thinking
Zeppelin,
about
Pink Floyd,
I'm thinking
Creed.
you should do a Trickster tribute.
Trickster.
Trickster, yeah.
Would be a great band to do tributes to.
Have you guys ever wondered if another Van Halen tribute band will come along and give you guys some competition?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them out there.
I know there's 2 Def Leppards and there's 2 things, right? And
Yeah, there's
you know,
plenty of them, and there's plenty of room for everybody.
Well, that's a good attitude.
I mean, we're playing small little venues, and and there's hundreds of thousands of these all over the United States. So there's a Van Halen tribute band on the on the East Coast, and the Midwest.
There's another Van Halen tribute band that has played in this club. Within what?
No, they didn't. They never showed up.
They never showed up.
You know why they canceled, don't you?
They couldn't find the place.
They
You
couldn't
guys
find
sent
the
your
place.
thugs over to beat them up, like their kneecaps.
Now, how about that band Metal Shop?
Metal Shop's amazing. They're the only other tribute band that I really am blown away by.
Yeah, I would
not so much
say-
the singer or the drummer or the bass player, but the guitar player in that band.
He's really
is
good.
really, really fucking good.
Yeah, he gets fired at night.
Well, he always gets rehired though because
He's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
People wonder why we just do tribute music. And that's like the big question that every interview any of you are asking. And I'm not sure. The answer is, we can't write original material. So why bang your head against the wall for nothing?
I think Playboy, we're in the new issue of Playboy magazine, there's a little blurb on us, and I think they summed it up best when they said, we're just a bunch of subpar musicians.
Subpar.
Yeah.
Subpar. And we're just ripping off other, well-known acts.
Does that mean we're going to get signed by some power?
Subpar basically means we're shooting birdies and eagles, baby.
So talk about doing a band.
LA Guns, baby.
Yeah, where's the LA Guns tribute band?
LA Guns was great when they had their original song.
Oh, that's not nice. Is that Chris Van Dal? He was great.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so talk about doing a set of just one artist as opposed to like doing covers of all different people.
Well, when you do one artist, it gets very monotonous really quick. When you do a variety, it's way more exciting and fun. It's bitching, man. It's bitching to be able to do one band and then have the other band to be able to do a variety of music because it gives you, it's totally bitchy.
Which do you prefer?
Well, see, in
Atomic Punk's totally way more.
Atomic Punk's Ralph can dress just like David Lee Roth, whereas in Metal Shop, Ralph can dress like David Lee Roth or Bret Michaels.
Right.
Which is pretty much the same.
Really.
That was funny.
That was pretty funny. Danger Kitty.
Hey, what's up? We're Danger Kitty.
Thanks a lot. Wait,
It's a document-
wait, we're Metal Shop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, we're Metal Shop. Hey, just
Hey,
want
thanks
to
a lot.
welcome you,
We're Metal
man.
Shop. Wait, nope, stop. We're the Atomic Punks.
Hey, we're the Atomic Punk's
Hey.
tribute to early Van Halen, baby. Woo!
Check me out. Two-handed tapping.
So we got the nice mellow guy over here. How do you deal with the craziness of these two in the middle?
He moved to Valencia.
That's what I did.
How would you sort of,
Actually, he does all the business for the band. So that's why, his demeanor's a little bit more serious because he's the guy who has to make sure we get money at the end of the night. Now, if you're just starting out, man, just think about it as like a training ground, just, for me personally, I'm grateful that I'm an entertainer, I get to entertain people.
Dude, I know. Get out there and fucking run the show, dude. What's up, dude? That's right, dude. You're like a fucking little bit chubbier version of David Lee Roth, dude. You show him what the fuck is up, dude. Dude, I'm not a chubby version of David Lee Roth, dude. I'm a skinny version of Vince Neil, you fucker. You know what, dude? I don't mean to be a dick, but dude, I was watching that girl band earlier, dude, and you're wearing the same exact pants as that chick, dude.
so now what's your feeling on a band that will form specifically like a tribute band that will go and play out gigs and play nothing but somebody else's music?
Oh, like the Atomic Punks and
A lot of Rosies.
Well, I think people are starving for that kind of music out there, and I think it's cool that these guys are doing it and they're actually capitalizing on it and they're making a living doing it. I guess it's better than just being a total cover band. At least they're trying to be as close to and look the part and of the people that they're doing the tribute to. And it was kind of a cool idea. I think the Atomic Punks had done a great job at it. And I think David Lee Ross ended up with getting some really good guitar players to take on the road.
Right out of the band.
Right out of the band,
The training ground.
Yeah, they don't have to learn the stuff, they already know it, So I think it's a good thing. Because people are starving for that.
Yeah. And why is it that you think people would like to see a tried and true tribute band as opposed to going to see a brand new original band?
Well, I guess they know what they're getting. They're familiar with the music.
So as far as tribute bands go, we were just talking about how the music scene is not looking too bright these days, and generally speaking. Do you think a lot of people tend to go into the tribute scene because they know the music and they're just looking for something that they're
Absolutely, familiar is good, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, you want to go hear music that you know that you like, and it's a familiar scene for the people that go to see the tribute bands. Personally, I like it because, it's like I can relive that. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm back in my 20s again, it's great. It's like, I see Hollywood Roses and it takes me right back there, and it's like sometimes I can't even tell the difference between, Axl and the guy that sings in Hollywood Roses. His name is Colby. I mean, he's so close and dead on with his whole vibe. It's it's intriguing.
Yeah.
And he's got groupies now. It's I went over to hear their original music, which was really good too, and he was telling me some of his Hollywood Roses groupie stories, and I was just wow.
That's great. Just like the old days, isn't it? Just like the original days.
Well, I walked into the apartment, I'm wow, this kind of looks like the apartment. That's kind of scary.
Right. How big of a force do you think the tribute scene is in today's music?
In LA, I think it's really a big scene. It's Metal Shop is going strong for 4 years now at the Viper Room every Monday night, and it's packed to the gills.
Yeah.
And it's there's a cult tribute band that we have coming in to play Bar Sinister. I mean, it's totally, it's hitting every club. I mean, even the clubs that showcase original music, Pretty Ugly Club, are doing tribute bands. And, I think for the tribute bands too, it's they get so tired of having to pay to play their original music, and they go out and they play a tribute set, and they get paid $200 or $300, So it's make money making music, whether it's theirs or someone else's, who cares, make money from your art.
As a club owner, or a club booker rather, do you think it's easier for a tribute band as far as bringing them into the club? Do you think that's an easier sell? Almost a guaranteed moneymaker?
No.
Yeah.
It's because you don't know if they're good. I mean, if you know that they're good and that they have a draw, then yeah. Metal Shop, I don't know. I think they make $3,000 a performance now because they guarantee people when they play,
Yeah. I would think it'd be a lot easier than booking an original band in some cases.
Oh, definitely. I mean, an original band draws, 10 people when they first start, and at least a tribute band, people will come out of curiosity to see if they actually are good, or for the first couple of times.
Yeah.
If they're not good, they won't come back, But the good ones are able to build.
What do you think is the success to being or the secret to being a successful tribute band?
Well, I think that's pretty easy. Clone.
Okay.
Clone the music, clone the voice, clone the look,
Okay.
clone the attitude,
Do you think it's important for the band to try to look exactly like the character, or do you think it's more
Absolutely.
about the music?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the overall package. The closer you look and perform,
Right.
like the band, the truer it's going to be.
Yeah. Again, kind of going back to the image.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of musicians tend to feel that, it's the music and nothing else. But it's interesting because you would think the fan comes to see the band.
Well, I would think with like the Pink Floyd tribute band, who I've not seen, but they were never like a big image band. It was only about the music. So I'm sure there are a few of those, but with the '80s bands, it has a lot to do with the image.